What's going on, guys? It's Jake Camaro here with another initial thoughts for you. Today I'm going to be showing off Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Now, I know I did a initial thoughts of the beta about a month ago, but I decided to do one of the retail game because there are quite a few new things with the retail game, as well as like the campaign, the guerrilla mode, new multiplayer maps, and tweaks that they made from the beta. So right now you're going to be seeing me play a new mode called Decoy, which basically means it's best 2 out of 3, so there could be 2 rounds or there could be 3 depending on who wins each round. But the attackers are trying to capture 3 points, where if they capture the one that gives them the intel as to where it's like a bomb type thing that they have to destroy is, then they get to do it. They get to plant it and win. But neither team knows which one is the real one. Only one of them will give you the intel that you need. So sometimes it takes to check all 3 of them, or you can get it on your first shot. So I'm going to be playing as the attackers first, and then afterwards I'm going to be playing as defenders. I'm going to be playing as the Bodark using the AK-200, which is the same class that I was using in the beta. But you'll get to see me play as the Bodark because in the beta gameplay that I showed off with the Ranger 99. We were playing as the Ghosts. So, when I got Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier on May 22nd, I couldn't really play it that much because I had so much homework, and I haven't really been able to play it that much the past week. So what I'm decided that what I'm going to do is, from now on, when I get a retail game, now this might not always be for Xbox Live Arcade games or anything else that I want to review, I'm always going to put up the initial thoughts, hopefully about 1 week afterwards, so the Tuesday after that game comes out. That gives me enough time to capture some really good gameplay and really explore the game a lot and be able to give you guys a full overview of the titles. So I was able to play quite a bit of the campaign lately, and I actually really like it. I think it's a very different campaign that I definitely like because it's very focused on stealth, but then there's some action parts too. So basically, the game involves you and Ghost Recon and Ghost Squadron trying to find, like, I'm not trying to spoil much of the campaign, but basically there is a squad that gets killed and you have to go find who did it and where the cargo that they were intercepting went, and it's a pretty good game. There's cool sections where you can actually use this mechanic where you tag up to 4 guys, and then the people on your squadron, your teammates, up to 3 of them, they can either be AI or real people over Xbox Live. You can all shoot them at the same time, which this feels really cool. And then because you make up the 4th person, but then if you have 3 people, you can tell them to shoot immediately. But of course, with 4 people, you have to shoot first, and then they'll shoot behind you. But then there's also some really good action portions of the game. I actually played as in one sequence where you were in a helicopter flying with a minigun, shooting down vehicles. I thought that was pretty cool. And then there's a lot of straight-out firefights. And I've been really enjoying the campaign, and I can't wait to finish it. Another mode that came with the game is called Guerrilla Mode. I haven't been able to play that much because I've been really focusing on the multiplayer and the campaign. But basically what this is a horde mode type game mode where you're basically dropped into a closed-off map where you're trying to survive for waves and waves of enemies. This game mode can actually be played with up to 4 people, but what's interesting is this is the only part of the game that can actually be played in a 2-player split-screen situation. So this is the only, you can't have split-screen in multiplayer or campaign, but you can have one other person in split-screen. I haven't tried out this mechanic, but it sounds pretty cool, and if I have a friend come over, I'm going to be trying to play that. So the multiplayer, they've made quite a few tweaks. They've added a lot new maps over just Pipeline and Mill from the beta. This one is called Cargo, which is what I'm playing on right now. It's essentially a very big cargo ship in the ocean, and you're fighting on. The mechanics in the game are very linear, so basically each team spawns on either side of the map, and then they've got their bases, basically much like the beta. You can't go inside each team's base. So right now, what I just passed through right there, if you were on the enemy team, you would see like a red bar across it, and if you went inside, you would have 5 seconds to get back across it, or else you would die. This is basically, I like to diminish spawn killing, which is something that really plagues games like Call of Duty. Another cool factor is Gunsmith. Now, I showed off this in my stats and weapons video, which was my first live com the last few days of the beta. and it essentially stays the same. They added a couple new weapons that you can unlock, but mostly it's the same. You can choose your red dot sight, optics, muzzle, basically anything you want with a weapon, then test it out in a gun range. One interesting thing that I have learned is me and Ryan were talking about in the last video about how we were wondering if you could unlock like a weapon for another team, and actually I did figure out that you can do that. Once you get to level 50 on one team, you can choose one weapon to carry over. Of course, for Boat Arc, it's definitely going to be the ACR because I really like that when I'm playing as the Ghosts. And I don't know what I'm going to do for the Boat Arc. So a lot of the weapon balances that I saw in the beta have really retained their shape in the full game. There's a couple problems that I've seen kind of develop with it as I've been playing. One of which is that what you just saw right there, one of the guys on our squad was just sitting there away. What that means is it's not just bad for the team, but then I have one less person to spawn on. So basically you have an option to spawn at the base, or you have the option to spawn on a squad mate. But then there's special factors that sometimes you can't, like if their area is intercepted by intel, if they're in combat, or they're too close to the objective. So a lot of times you will see yourself spawning back at base, but if you have a lot of teamwork on your squad, you will definitely be able to spawn in the battlefield more often than not. But the problem is that you can actually switch. So there's two squads, Alpha or Bravo, but those are basically decided for you. So say you're talking to some people on Xbox Live and you want to be more team-oriented with them and team up and spawn on them a lot, you actually will not be able to do that because you will be stuck in the squad the game assigns you, which for the most part is okay, but definitely when you've got like one guy who especially isn't very good and then other people who are really good, you would rather want to spawn on them than the person that you're spawning on. The third-person mechanics stay the same. The recoil is actually, I feel that it's a little bit better. There's a little less recoil on the ACR from the beta. One thing that I have noticed in the gunsmith mode is that the heartbeat sensor was actually taken out. Now, on the side of the gun, you could in the beta you could have the holographic, just the normal like standard like nothing there, or you could have the aiming laser. Now I tried out the holographic on the ACR, the heartbeat sensor on the ACR. I did not really like it. I didn't really like see what it did, and it has been removed from the game, at least for the rifleman. I don't know if they've added it. They still have it for engineer or scout, but I don't really understand why they took it out. Maybe there were some balancing issues. I haven't really noticed it that badly, but I think that it's fine. One of the features that are kind of cool that I will explain. I explained a lot of this in the beta, but for people who didn't want to see that video or didn't really care about the beta and really want to find out about the retail game, I'm definitely going to be going into a lot of the normal parts of this game. So there's one part where you can actually, if you equip a underbarrel or a secondary stun gun, you can actually stun enemies. They have to be very close range, but then you can hack them, which leaves you vulnerable for a few seconds. But then you can actually get their team's data and be able to see the enemy on like they'll like appear red, and you can see them through the walls. And it definitely really helps out the team, because although it does take a little while, when you've got some really good guys and you're hacking them every few seconds, it definitely is a lot of fun. I was in a game a couple days ago, and we were all just hacking all the guys really, really fast. We had about maybe 20 for the entire team, and it was cool to just always know where they are. And I really like it. It's a cool factor for people who kind of want to do a little bit more recon, kind of finding out where the enemy team is. One part that is interesting is this game does have when you rank up, it doesn't actually have a base rank. So basically, when you rank up as you're playing as the three classes, that class has a rank, but then there's no like overall rank. Like for example, in Battlefield 3, you had the different kits, so like assault, engineer, support, recon, and then you could rank up those classes, but then you also rank up your base rank. There's no base rank in this game. You've got your ranks for each individual class. But then, sometimes when you go to unlock a weapon, now this isn't always true, sometimes you can, when you rank up, you automatically get something, like a helmet or a different equipment piece. Sometimes you have to choose between different items that you want to unlock. So there's 2 times where you unlock some weapon, and you have to choose from either an assault rifle or a LMG. This can be undone using one respect token, but you only get one of those. And It's definitely interesting. It's for people who really want to be proficient in a certain area. You can't have everything in this game, and you definitely got to make some interesting decisions to kind of see, like, what you're going to be playing as a lot. One other thing is this game is made by Ubisoft, so it does use the Uplay Online Pass, which I don't see as being a huge problem, but one thing that I don't really like about it is if I go over to my friend's house, I don't think we're going to be able to play online. So I really do not like that, and I think the whole online pass is fine and all, but I don't like how, I wish it was tied to your gamer tag, and it was, and if you went over to other people's houses, you all could still play online. I don't think that is the case. I'm not positive since I have not taken this game over to my friend's house yet, but it sounds like you're not going to be able to if you go over to your house, and this is definitely a game that I want to take over to my house, my friend's house. The other Ubisoft game with the Uplay Pass that I got was Driver San Francisco, but that game kind of glitched out with the Uplay Pass, which I talked about in my Flashback Friday episode, and they had to actually just override it, and then everybody already automatically got it, so that wasn't a problem. But I think that this game could definitely be a little bit of a problem, because if you over my friend's house trying to show the game off to them, and you can't show them most of the game. Like, multiplayer is a very big part of this game, obviously, as is most first-person and third-person shooters out there. I'm not going to be able to show it off. So I think that that's a little annoying, and I wish that Ubisoft would kind of put that to a change. This game was hinted at a DLC pack. It was like a Arctic pack with, on the back of the manual in the game case. It did show that. I would have showed that in my unboxing, but of course I did not do an unboxing of this game. It looks pretty cool. I like how they've announced the DLC so early, but I'm just wondering how long it's going to be, because when Battlefield 3 Back to Kharkiv was announced as a pre-order bonus back this summer before it came out, I was kind of skeptical, was it going to come out immediately, but it actually didn't. It took a couple months, so I'm wondering to see, they had a release date, not really a release date, but like a time frame that it would be coming out. It said this summer, and it would add new weapons and new maps. I'm hoping that it's coming pretty soon, because this game is definitely a game that I would definitely really want to play for quite a while. The unlocks are definitely give a little bit of have some length to them. I am level 23 in the class you're seeing right now, the Rifleman, and I actually have not played as Scout or Engineer at all, so I think that it's definitely going to take me quite a while to rank all the characters up, and I think it's going to be a really fun game to keep playing. Going back to the campaign for a few minutes, some of the things that the developers try to do is kind of initiate more of a personal appeal with the soldiers of Ghost Squad, and I definitely do like it. It's a cool factor. They're not always very long, but they definitely show what's happening outside of the mission. And it's pretty good. It shows how much teamwork that these guys have, and it definitely it feels cool when you're playing a game knowing like who you are actually playing with. You can see them outside of the combat zone, just hanging out at military bases and such. So this gameplay is just about to start wrapping up in a little while. The games do take quite a while. It really depends for at least Decoy, which I've really been playing for quite a while. It's really been my main game mode during the retail game. I played a lot of Conflict during the beta, which I did try out, but it's definitely a little bit boring because I did play that the entire beta. The games are pretty long, and the downside is that they only give you all the points you gain in a match right after you finish the match. So if you lag out or anything, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to gain anything that you unlocked. One other thing in the multiplayer that me and the Ranger 99 touched on a little bit in our initial thoughts of the beta, the host migration system was pretty bad. It's actually gotten worse in the release game. Now it doesn't just restart and like replace everybody, but it actually restarts the entire match. So say you're just about to finish it, and rounds, each round, it could have up to 3 rounds, of course, best 2 out of 3. Each round is 10 minutes, so if you're just about to finish that round, you're going to have to restart and play for another 10 minutes because of a host migration, which I do not like at all, and I wish Ubisoft would address this. Servers have been really on and off since the release of the game. One night, a couple days ago, the servers just quit out for an entire night. I guess this is fine. look around this because it definitely sounds like a pretty popular game. But I do hope that they definitely get the servers up and running and provide a little bit more stable matchmaking experience. I really like this game, and I think it's going to be a game that I play for quite a while. I'm not disappointed at all. It was basically what I exactly thought it was going in from the beta. And I hope that you guys check it out if you're into a more a different kind of third-person shooter where it uses a lot of tactical-based strategies. I think you guys are going to enjoy this game. So if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.